Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Naomi. I'm 21 and I study business at Lancaster University. I'm a member of the Stronghold Church when I come back from university on holidays. I grew up in a Christian family. My parents always prayed with me. They taught me about God. But when I was about 6 or 7, we moved to a church in Liverpool, and this is where my journey with God really started. I made some great friends that were my age, and when I was about 9, I was old enough to go to a children's summer camp, about 4 days long, and this is where I really felt God for the first time. I was away from my parents. The atmosphere was of love, and it was very welcoming and very fun. And one evening I connected with God especially, and I really felt God was real, and I chose to give my life to him. Our Liverpool church was really great at encouraging the children to be a part of the worship, and I actively connected with God each week. When I became a teenager and was going to high school, I was close to God, and I was proud to say I was a Christian. I would talk to my friends quite openly about God. However, there was some other things going on in my heart. Other things started to take my focus away from God and the good things that he had for me. These things were things like I was quite left out in friendship groups, which would really knock my confidence. I also had 2 older siblings who both had personalities that draw people's attention, and many people really loved them. Because I was the quieter one of the family, I compared myself to them, and I started to really not like my personality. I also, from a very young age, struggled with my dyslexia. Compared to my friends and my siblings who are really clever, I thought I wouldn't amount to much. As my focus was on comparing myself instead of focusing on God, I grew to want other things a lot more than I wanted God. For example, I was desperate to be popular. I thought that would make me feel better about myself. And I was also desperate to have a boyfriend. I thought that would make me happy, that would make me satisfied, and that I wouldn't need anything else if I had that. And of course, I also wanted better grades. With this all caused quite a lot of unrest in my heart and mind. I was a very angry teenager, believe it or not, which I mainly took out on my family and mostly my mum. However, my parents constantly forgave me. They continued to show me love, which I think, even if I didn't recognise it at the time, it kept reminding me of God's love and God's grace. And also going to our Liverpool church every Sunday, helped me stay connected to God. And I think this meant that I always knew deep down that God had made me unique, and that I shouldn't give in to these insecurities and try and change myself to have those things that I really desired. Looking back now, I'm so thankful that I didn't become really popular. I didn't get a boyfriend at a young age, because I knew I would have become even more obsessed by those things and fallen away from God even more, and made mistakes that I would have regretted. While all this was going on in high school, God was also answering mine and my parents' prayers about my dyslexia. I believe God really motivated me to fight against my dyslexia and work extra hard with it. So through primary school and high school, it took a long time, and there was gradual improvement. It definitely wasn't a quick fix. I was predicted mostly fails at the beginning of high school. However, I actually ended up getting one of the best sets of GCSE grades in my school, which is a massive answer to prayer. I realised in year 11, I realised how big the difference was and how big the change was, and I knew it couldn't have just been me alone doing that, but a real caring God answering my prayers. Therefore, in year 11, I was coming back into a closer relationship with God because I was seeing how real God was, and my relationship with him was growing. I realised how popularity or a boyfriend would not satisfy me, and that God is the only thing that can give me joy no matter the circumstance. That the only thing that truly matters is loving God. God helped me let go of these other desires, like being popular, having lots of friends, having a boyfriend. And when I was 15, going on 16, I got baptised to publicly show that I was committed to loving and pursuing God with all I've got, and not putting my attention on other things. When I went to college, my parents and I moved to the Stronghold Church, and being a part of the church and being a youth leader for Stronghold helped me continue focus on God, and that was a really special time with my relationship with God. I also met a boy, or maybe I should, you'd prefer me to say a man, in the church, and through the years of our relationship, God has used him to show me that me, just the way I am, my personality, I am loved and I can be loved by others. In university, I have grown in my passion and courage for telling others about God. One of my flatmates in my first year of university actually became a Christian, which really opened my eyes to the fact that God wants to use me, and really grew me in that area of serving him. And also I have grown in trusting God. For example, in my second year of university, I spent many months, over 6 months, applying for placement years, and I really struggled to actually get one. And I was starting to really give up because it felt like it was too late to get one. However, just at the last minute, a really great one came through. And it showed me that if you just keep trusting God, those prayers will be answered in the end, and God comes through. My awesome friendship group and my boyfriend have helped me really build up my confidence at university. And I can say that the last few years have actually been really great. But it's surprising how easy it is to kind of ignore God and forget your need for him when things are going really good. And I think that's when insecurities start to creep in again. I started to have more insecurities about how many friends I had again, and other things. And therefore, through lockdown, I have had a fresh revelation that God's love is more precious than the other great things in life, and that before anything else, my life's purpose is to love him. So that's my testimony so far. Thanks for listening.